welcome, Malek. Glad to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, so I know you're, big into business and all of that with your audiences. Now you're helping people like all over the world, mainly in France, but all over the world too, to grow their business, even start their business, because some of them, they don't even have a business yet. So you're helping them get an extra income or start in business. So yeah, if you could share kind of your story so far. I know you've done a lot of things. You had an agency before, you had so many things. So what's your story so far? And if you could introduce yourself to people who don't know you.
Of course. Okay. So basically, we'll start in uni. So I studied international law. I graduated after 7 years, which was very long. And basically, I didn't like it. So I decided to change courses of life. And I went into content creation. So since I didn't have any background in it, marketing or anything else like this, so I decided to grow my TikTok account, which I did. And through that, I could get clients, basically. So I started working with clients and managing their social media accounts, first on Instagram and then on TikTok. And basically, I was a freelancer and that grew into an agency. And now I'm pivoting, basically, and helping people achieve what I did, which is becoming a content creator, either to help brands growing online or to make themselves grow online through their own personal brands.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, your trajectory, because at first you had the traditional path of becoming a lawyer and you were fully into that. And I think you were pretty successful at that. Like you had a pretty high level of studies. I mean, you studied in one of the best schools in Paris and all of that. And then something changed. Yes. So what made you pivot? What made you just switch and become an entrepreneur and just fuck it, I'm just going to start my business?
So basically, there were two events. The first one was I was working in a law firm as a paralegal. And one of the lawyers that I was working for, she came to me and she told me, it's been 10 years that I'm looking at the same wall. And I was shocked. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be my life. I'm going to look at the same wall for 10 years. And that's super far from what I wanted to do in my life, basically, which is travel and be free and have some kind of financial success. And also during that time, something else happened. So there were 3 events, let's say. That was the second. One of the person who was working there accidentally scanned their, the paper that you have your salary on. Mm-hmm. To the network of everybody. So I had access to it. I was searching for something. I saw it. And then I saw the salary. And I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, I studied that long to get that salary. No way that I'm doing it. And then also my brother that basically started to do e-commerce. And I was seeing that you can actually earn way more through this path than through the one that I have chosen for myself, that I thought I would find some kind of very big financial success. And then I realized that maybe the lifestyle that I wanted to have was not going to be possible through that path, and that I had another way. So basically then I pivoted.
That's interesting. Okay, so yeah. So basically, first of all, your colleague who was working there, you realized that if you follow this path, maybe it's going to get boring after a few years and the salary isn't that great. Yeah. And then also you saw what was possible in terms of business with your brother and all of that. And that motivated you to go your own way and start your own path as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And also I think the work environment, I was in France, which is quite particular, I think, but maybe it can also be the same in some other places. But basically, people were super negative. They were thinking about, how do you say it? Retraite in English.
Retirement. Retirement.
Retirement. And they were talking about it. And I was super young at the time. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not even finishing, my studies are still going on. And I have to think about when I'm retired. This is that bad here, So then I was like, okay, no way that I'm doing this. I need to find something else. But initially, I got very depressed because I was the thing that I really wanted to do all my life, I see it crumbling down and I don't know what to do because it's the only thing that I wanted to do. And so I was super depressed. And then after I think a year after that experience, then I saw my brother becoming an entrepreneur and having his own business and everything like this. So then I saw the light at the end of the tunnel and I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. At least I know that I want to have some sort of a business. And then, I finished studying and then I was lost and I became a waitress thinking, what can I do? And then I went into social media because I loved it. So I was like, okay, let's make a business out of it. And we did it.
And you were pretty successful. I mean, you went viral many times on TikTok. Now you have a pretty big brand there. I think on TikTok you have maybe more than 500K followers or maybe 1 million?
No.
Okay.
If you addition all of them, it's 300K.
Okay.
For now,
yeah.
But the goal is actually to grow it to more than 1 million, indeed.
Yeah, I'm sure you will if you continue like that.
I did in the future already.
Yeah, that's
I'm just
the right
waiting to
mindset.
get there.
That's the right mindset to have.
Yeah.
One thing is like right now, so why did you switch from agency to like helping other people start their business?
Yeah, so basically, the work with the agency was great, but it was also like stopping me from growing my own brand. Because what I'm doing with the agency is basically growing other people's account. So you need to create the content, you need to think about the content, and the more clients that you have, the more that you need to think about them. And then I was like, okay, I really also want at some point to grow my own personal brand and to monetize it in a way or another. So I didn't find, and I think I was not really capable of delegating basically too much of the work. So I decided to pivot because that's also what I wanted to do. And that's what's great. You know, when you have your own business, you can decide what you want to do. If you want to pivot, you can pivot. And I decided to pivot. Also, like that corresponds more to what I want to do and to my personality, I think. I really like I'm always speaking to people about how to grow online, you know? So at least I can get paid to do it, I think. So that's basically the idea.
You prefer coaching than agency services and doing the...
Yeah, like it's the same business. It's just the way of doing it. With the agency, it was a done for you business. Now it's a done with you business, basically.
Or do it yourself if you sell a course or...
Yes, but for now it's done. Maybe I can switch on to do it yourself, but now it's a done with you because it's like a training. It's a 3-month training. And so basically people come in, and they learn everything that they have to know in order to be successful on social media with the short form content, and then they can go on finding clients, or we help them obviously, but either they will do it with clients, so managing their accounts, or they can do it with their personal brands, or both at the same time basically, which is the how do you call it, the core of business now. If you know how to manage social media, you've won the game.
Yeah. Now in this economy of attention, like it's one of the main ways to get traction in your business and to develop a business.
It's necessary.
Yeah. And so it's a 12 weeks program where you help total beginners usually, I guess, mainly beginners.
Beginners or people who already have some sort of like amateur experience, because a lot of people do. Like they're helping one of their friends' business, with their content or something like this, and then they want to actually have it professional, or indeed like very beginners, people who are working in another industry and then want to pivot and work in content creation.
So we'll get into more of what you're doing and how you're helping people and the kind of advice you're giving them. But I wanted to kind of come back to an idea that you shared earlier, which was the environment, the power of your environment.
Yes.
Because Tai Lopez, for example, I was listening to one of his podcasts and he said that change your geography, change your life. And in a way, when you move from, for example, an environment like Paris, which can be a bit toxic when it comes to the money-making mentalities there and stuff like that, to an environment like Dubai.
To make money in Paris.
Yeah, exactly. People in France, sometimes they have a very negative connotation with money.
Yes.
Very negative associations as a whole. I mean,
business and capitalism.
In business, And whereas, and Dubai and all of that, you have more of this capitalistic society that makes you produce and innovate and motivates you to become more than you actually are.
Yeah.
And so what have you noticed regarding that when it comes to environment for entrepreneurs? How important and crucial your environment is for your business, and what changes have you seen for yourself as well? Because you've moved a lot, you've traveled a lot, so...
Yes. So basically, I think the environment is two different things. You have the country, which will influence the like mentality of people around you, but you also have your little environment, because even if you're in the most capitalistic, most entrepreneur-driven country, let's say the US, but then around you people have a certain kind of mentality that can be super different from that, then this will win. So I think like you need to take those into consideration. So indeed, in France, the mentality towards money is quite harsh. Basically, people don't like money, blah 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 blah, everything. And but it's like I think European mostly mentality, and they don't like business. And I mean, it's quite complicated, I think, but. I wouldn't say it's the mentality of the country overall. It's the people around you, because you get very limited in your mind, which is normal. Huh? And like even me, I think I stopped at some point dreaming of what I could do, because everybody around me, their dream was, okay, I want to have a normal life, which is fine if it's really what you want, you know. I want to have like a tour in 2.53K per month, have then get married and then have kids and then retire, and then, you know, I just want the age of my retirement to be as early as possible, because I will probably hate my job. So that's the mentality. And then I saw in English speaking countries, US, UK, Dubai is the same mentality. I mean, the UAE, people have a very different mindset, and also these countries, they attract a certain type of people. In that case, I'm now living in Dubai, and the kind of people that come, like most of my friends there, they're entrepreneurs. So when I go to them and I'm like, oh, I'm doing, like, I want to do this, everybody's like, yeah, let's go, you know, or like, yeah, you can do more, things like this. So it also makes things that would be extraordinary in some environment really normal, or sometimes you even feel like, what am I doing? Like I have friends, they've sold companies for millions, and then I'm like, okay, I'm a very beginner. And then I go into another environment with my friends in Paris, and they're like, oh my God, it's amazing what you're doing, you know. And I think that can also get into your head, because if you're always with people praising you, like, oh my God, it's amazing, but in comparison with other people, I haven't done anything, you know, like with people that I know in Dubai, what they've done is empires. So it also pushes me to do more, I think. So I think it's really important to allow you to dream, even at the beginning, to be surrounded, even not physically, but maybe online and things like this, with mentalities and people telling you, no, this is normal. And then to at some point be in the environment that you think would be the best for you and your evolution.
Yeah,
but Dubai is amazing.
Pretty in-depth answer. And yeah, Dubai is amazing. We met there actually. It was a great time, and definitely for entrepreneurs, I think it's one of the best places on earth now
for sure
to live.
Absolutely, 100%.
If I had to give 3 top places, maybe Dubai. I mean, depends. London, a lot of taxes and stuff, but it's pretty good.
A lot.
Yeah, London.
It's nice. I like the city.
Yeah.
But in terms of tax and in terms of also moving, Dubai, everybody can move from anywhere super fast, and it's the same for everybody, you know. Whatever, like if you have the money to create your company and then to sustain yourself, you can go. But in, you know, it's not the same in the UK or the US. Even
Miami is super expensive.
It's very expensive, and also you need to, like, the visa requirements are insane. Whereas in the UAE, they make it super easy. If you do have the money to sustain yourself and you have a business that's already, going on, you just want to move it there. You just move it, like whichever your nationality.
But even Dubai is a bit expensive for beginner entrepreneurs. I know, you can potentially find like a simple apartment in the marina, or do some, like, have some flatmates or something, do something like that. But still, like, what I recommend personally, if I had to start over, is at first when you begin, go either to Asia, because it's very cheap there and you can live like a king in Thailand.
Yes.
And really, like, with 2K a month, you live like a king in Thailand.
Yeah.
And it's not like going to be like Dubai. Dubai, you're going to be really a brokey compared to in Thailand, you live like a king, or Bali.
But it depends where you're from. If you live in the US or the UK or Europe and you go to Dubai, it will be cheaper. I mean, depends where in Europe, but it depends. You know?
Yeah, Eastern Europe is great too for beginners. I mean, even here, Tallinn, Estonia is great. Apart from the weather, which sucks, but the rest is great. I mean, it's a good environment because there's a lot of startups, a lot of entrepreneurs, and
you're not as tempted as in Dubai to go out.
Exactly, yeah. Especially in the winter here, like, all you can do is go to the gym, focus, and work.
And get depression.
Depends. Depends
for
if
me,
depends. Depends on your genes. Depends on your genes too. A lot of success in entrepreneurship is about genes too. What do you think about that? Because there's a lot of people that you think you can help, but actually maybe their genes are against them compared to other people. Maybe they're very high on endorphins and serotonin, and they're not as dopamine driven as you or as oxytocin driven, which means like they're not really very social. They're not extroverted. They don't want to, they can't force themselves to post content online. And so for them, like they're not going to be very successful at that. What do you think about the relationship between genes and how you're made and the success in entrepreneurship?
I will answer, but first, I want to tell you, most content creators are not extroverted. On the contrary, they're introverted because usually it's people like they do not like to be in public, so they decided to go like to stay in front of a camera by themselves. It's a very lonely experience. It's very weird. So most people actually who are very successful are introverted when it comes to content creation. It's because you just speak with the camera. You're by yourself, you know. So it's way easier than going out with people. Also, for me, being a extroverted person, extroverted person, you tend to always be distracted by going out with people, being outside, having a very active social life. So I think even in terms of business, it's an advantage and a disadvantage because I want to go out all the time, you know, meet people, like it's super easy for me and things like this. Whereas someone who would be introverted, like my brother, for example, which we share some genes in common, he's more able to stay at home and work longer hours than me when you see a time frame, like a middle to long term time frame, you know? So it has, both have their advantage and like pros and cons, you know?
Yeah, your brother is insane regarding that. If you're watching this, like, seriously, like sometimes this guy can stay like 3 weeks at his house without going out, without nothing, just in front of his screen.
Yes.
I couldn't do that personally.
Me too. I would kill myself for sure. But you know, I think what we need to do, because I tried to be like this, because I saw he was successful and he had this personality. So I tried to do the same. And then I realized, okay, first, it's not possible because I get into depression. Like if I'm not socially active or things like this, I stay inside. Even the fact of staying inside of the house and not going outside, it gets me depressed. For him, on the contrary, if he goes outside, he's not feeling well and things like this. So we're very different on that. But I think you need to understand what works with you, which are your strengths and which are not. And then you have to decide on even a business that goes with your strength. I'm into an industry that's very social. Like the fact that I'm extroverted, I have no problem going in front of a camera and speaking and being funny and like, you know, feeling at ease. Maybe someone else, they would do another type of content, you know, or maybe they have to force a little bit more themselves. But then if they understand that, oh, I'm in front of a camera, I'm by myself, but I can make money, it's way better than going into an office and having to meet people and talking with people. Yeah. Maybe that's better for me, you know. But so let's say in that industry, you can have a lot of different personalities. But for example, someone like I was doing sales at some point in my life when I was a student. I mean, I'm still doing it now, but like physically, you know, like going to people and like handing out things and talking and trying to get clients for other businesses. And I could do it because I'm extroverted. If someone else would do it, like if you're thinking about going into a business that you have to have at least an advantage of being social or extroverted and you're not, maybe you need to switch. And now we have the, like, you know, luxury of having so many different businesses that we can do, a lot of them online. Some can be social, some cannot be. Like, you just need to understand yourself. And to answer your question about the genes, what role do they play? I would say, like, I think from what I saw, I'm not an expert, obviously, but I think genes, although they do give you some kind of advantages and disadvantages, they don't play that big of a role because they also adapt. Like we are made to adapt. Our genes, they do adapt. Maybe they take longer than our lifetime or whatever. But I think adaptation is a big part of our human experience. So I think, again, we have our advantages, disadvantages in terms of genes. If you are not 2 meters long, don't go into basketball, you know, maybe do something else. Maybe you can do horse riding, you know, you need to play with what you have, with your cards. But all of them, like sometimes it's hard to accept that you cannot really do the things that you can't because, okay, if you're not super tall, you cannot be a basketball player. Like you can, but you're not going to be LeBron James or whatever. Yeah. But maybe you can be something else. So check your cards, be realistic, and with those, then choose what is the best fit for you with all of those cards. And then you're fine. Like, there's nobody with terrible genes, like so bad that you cannot do anything and you have to stay all day like this, except if you have a really big illness, you know? Apart from that, if you're healthy or whatever, life is in front of you and that's fine, you know?
Yeah, no, that's good advice. I mean, I think even if you're handed like different cards that someone else, maybe cards that are less advantageous than someone else in terms of your genes, you can always make something out of it if you work on your weaknesses.
If you're very tall, you cannot be how do you call a horse rider thing, you know?
I didn't know horse riders, they need to...
Or Ferrari, like driver thing. Yeah. Horse riders, they need to be short and thin. If you're too big, and the horse cannot carry you, you know? And you're not that fast. Same, if you want to be F1 thing, you need to be short, thin, and light, you know? So everything is relative. If a guy who's 2 meters tall wants to do that, he can't. Like, he will lose. He can't even enter into the car. He can't go into the horse, like, you know? So I think it's like bad and good cards, they're very relative. They're bad when they don't go into the direction that you want, but they're good in terms of, like, if you see through another angle, then they're good. I'm not too tall. Okay, I can do a lot of other things that tall people cannot do. I mean, I'm speaking about this because it's really easy to understand, but it's the same with a lot of things, you know? I'm extroverted, I'm introverted, you have pros, you have cons, and for absolutely everything. Yeah. So that's just my take on that. What about you?
So, 1 second first. With your clients and your students, etc., do you get them to actually do some personality tests or quizzes so that they can figure out actually what's best for them? Like, do you recommend to do, for example, the 16 personalities test, like the Myers-Briggs, or the other one? I mean, actually, there's a good test. I'm not an affiliate with this test with Ty Lopez at all.
I did it.
He has a great test. Yeah, 12types.com.
Yeah, I did it.
And you can figure out based on your hormones, basically, what's best for you. Yeah. What career.
Yeah, and I did it, and that's why when you told me you're dopamine driven, that's when I knew it.
Yeah, because you like to travel a lot, you're high ambition, you like variety, new things. So,
which is a problem, you know.
A problem and an advantage for business.
Yeah.
It's a good advantage too.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. But yes, tell me your question. About the students.
Yeah, do you actually give them a way to figure out their strengths, their weaknesses? Do you give them this personality tests?
So I don't give them a personality test per se to do. Why? Because the 16 personalities, I did it, for example, and every time, which I mean, I think is normal for me, but I change personalities. But it went with different life stages, so I think I just adapted, you know. But what we do is indeed we try to understand like what we want out of life, because some people, for example, when we're doing content creation, you can be a content creator, like being an influencer, basically. You can work with brands, you can work with small brands, you can work with big brands, you can be a freelancer, you can have an agency, you can have a small agency, you can have a very big agency. So it's, even if it's the exact same activity, you have very different ways to do it. And we need people to understand what they want to do so that when they do arrive there, they are aligned with their vision. Because I think that's the problem with most things. And so we help them indeed try to understand themselves. What do you want? Because if you want to earn a lot of money and have a very big agency, but then you're not happy because you don't have that much time left, because you cannot really travel, because, you know, like what matters to you? You want to be free geographically and you do not want to spend too much time working, then maybe it's not a very good idea to have an agency. Maybe it's better to be a freelancer, earn like a high pay and have few clients and like live your life, you know. Or if you don't really care about those, but you really want to have like this very big like dream and everything, and you're ready to sacrifice on your freedom, time and everything, okay. But you just need to be aligned with that so you do not get disappointed. Because if you're trying to get A, but going at B, it's not matching. So that's what we're trying to do. We're not doing it through personality tests, but we're doing it through coaching, basically. So we ask a lot of questions and then we try to determine what's the best fit for the person according to what they want and what we think they want, but maybe they haven't discovered yet. And obviously we can pivot all the time. And they, in any case, have all the keys to get into whichever line they prefer. Also, we evolve, you know, so sometimes you want something and then you want to downgrade or upgrade or things like this. So they can obviously do that.
Yeah, no, exactly. You evolve. Me too, I've done the personality test like a few years ago, and this year it was different, you know. Yeah. But some of the core letters, you know, you have ENFJ or ENTP, whatever. Yeah. Some of those core letters always stay the same. So maybe you've always been in the E category because you've always been an extrovert. Yeah. But maybe you go from a commander to whatever the other thing, you know. Yeah. So.
What's your type?
I have the type on my phone, but I need to check it out. But regarding the motivations, we all have 4 motivations, actually. It's either money, movement, mating or mastery. And for you, I'd be curious, like, because I think for you, it's, you know, money for sure a bit, but it's mainly movement to and freedom, I think.
If I had freedom without money, I would not work.
Okay.
By far, I think.
So if we tell you, we tell you right now, you have to stay in Dubai all your life.
No, I kill myself. Even if
you're a billionaire, you can do all the activities, you can do whatever, but you have to stay in Dubai.
Yeah, for sure.
So movement is way more important.
Like the only thing that for me is the end of the world is to be in prison. Like this gives me nightmare because I'm like, oh my God, I cannot go out. I cannot do what I want. So absolutely not. Like this is What about you?
Well, myself right now, I'm just pulling it out.
But which one is the most important for you from the four?
I think, you know, I think I'd be curious to know yourself first, like between mating and money. So if you could, you have all the money in the world and you can also travel, but you cannot have any guy, any boyfriend, any sexual relationship for the rest of your life. Nothing, not even a kiss. You're not allowed.
Okay.
but
you speak
you have
like
all
my
the money.
dad.
Yeah. You said your dad is going to be happy about that, or
no?
Not
I
happy?
say you're speaking like my dad.
Ah, okay. Because your dad is very like he doesn't want you to
No,
date.
no, I don't know, but anyways.
Yeah, maybe he's protective towards you. But
It's an Asian.
So either that, like you can't have anything mating wise, but you have all the money in the world, or you have a normal amount of money. Maybe you make 100K a year, you make 6 figures, but you can date however you want. And
I would say if it depends on the person. If I have a person that if it's to have people that I don't like are gonna make me suffer, break my heart every Friday, I prefer the money, obviously.
Yeah.
But if it's to have someone that is a good fit, that I'm having a very good time with, that we match very well, we have very interesting conversation, and I'm super fulfilled in the relationship, I would prefer the relationship. What about you?
Myself, I think mating is super important because at the end of the day, a lot of guys, why do they make money? They make money because they want to have, you know, good relationships and they want to be loved.
Yeah.
Like a lot of billionaires, etc. Yes, they love money, but a lot of them initially, the reason why they got into making a lot of money is because initially, like subconsciously, they wanted to also, you know, prove to themselves that they can be attractive guys to the opposite sex, that they can make things happen, etc. for the opposite sex.
Yeah.
A lot of them. And a lot of billionaires actually, one of the mistakes they do is they focus so much on money that they just don't focus enough on mating, and they end up marrying or getting with horrible girlfriends that take all their money. Or a lot of billionaires get billionaires, yeah.
But a lot of billionaires get married and don't really divorce.
A lot of billionaires have awful relationships. If you take the top of the Forbes list, like you take Elon Musk, he had horrible relationships and breakups. You take Jeff Bezos also, he divorced. You take Bill Gates, divorced.
He stayed married for a very long time, Bill Gates. And Jeff
because
Bezos
they value
too.
stability in terms of that too, because they have to focus on business. But they settle. It's like they settle for that stability, and they don't really take care of the.
Why do you say they settle?
Because a lot of them, most of their girlfriends aren't very attractive compared to the amount of money they have.
But what is the link with a relationship being good and someone being attractive? Because their girlfriend might not be very attractive to you, but they're not very attractive to a lot of people too, you know?
You mean they're attractive to a lot of people too?
No, I mean, maybe, it's an idea, but there are other qualities in a woman than attractiveness. Attractiveness is also very relative. And maybe if they were with a very attractive woman, because most of them, they did not succeed in life with a model by their sides, you know? So probably these women that they had by their sides at this time, they had qualities that maybe you're ignoring that helped them build the life that they have. Because Steve Jobs too, like, you know, when they speak usually about their exes, because indeed they do divorce, but their unions, they last a very long time, more than the average. Because people who get married with very attractive women, some they work, some they don't, you know, and attractiveness, again, is also very relative, but the rate of divorce is super high. These people, they have very long unions. And when they speak about their exes, usually, that they have kids with, they're quite happy that they're the mother of their kids, you know?
Yeah. And I agree with that. A lot of them pick, for example, Warren Buffett. He can attribute 50% of his success to his wife and how his wife helped him. Same for Charlie Munger, his business partner, who died like this year, I think he died. But yeah, your mating choice is probably one of the most important, I mean like long-term mating choice is probably one of the most
Even
important
short,
decisions.
If you take bad decisions every week on the person that you're with.
Yeah, short term, I mean, look, short term, if you wear condoms, if you wear condoms and you live your life in a good way, you don't let them influence you.
But they do.
They're not really, I mean...
But the fact that you're having even a short relationship compared to a long one, it influences your life.
I mean, depends on your genes and how you're... I'm dopamine driven like you. I like variety for now. I don't value stability in my relationships now. So I think it matches my lifestyle.
But most billionaires, they were married when they became, like, during their years of building, they were married. Most of them. Way.
True.
A lot of them.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
we can
Actually,
see a correlation, you know?
Yeah, actually, I saw that most billionaires on the Forbes list, they had a lot of kids before age 30, like almost all of them. And that's one of the big traits, like having kids before you're 30.
And being married.
And being potentially
in a
married.
monogamous relationship.
Yeah, makes you, there's a high correlation between that and being successful. That's true. The opposite is also true sometimes. But yeah, when we compare the data, it's true that I agree with you on that fact that most highly successful people, they married early, they had kids early. And I think that drives you also, because when you know you have a family to take care of, you have a wife to take care of, you don't want to let them down, it really like makes you double down, you know, maybe.
Most people do have a family and a wife to take care of and kids. I don't think that's the determinant. But I do think that when you do already have a partner, you don't look for another one. So it gives you a lot of time, and also
it frees up some mental space. You mean to focus on other things?
Yeah. And also for those people to be married with the wives or husbands, whatever that they have. I think those people also have a lot of qualities that help their partner get into the spaces that they are. You know, like I don't think, for example, we can take the how do you call example of Obama. Like I guess you already know, but you know when someone asked Michelle Obama if she got married with the guy that she was with in high school that actually has a restaurant on the road, and you don't know this example?
I don't know that story, no.
Okay, so I will tell you.
Yeah.
So basically, when she was interviewed, someone told her, or it's in her book, whatever. So her ex, basically, from some point of her life, is having this restaurant on the side of the road, and someone told her, no, she wrote it somewhere, I think. And so Barack told her, can you imagine if you got married with this guy, you would be the owner of this restaurant? And she said, if I got married with this guy, he would be the president of the United States. And I think it's not possible for someone, like your partner indeed is super important as a choice. And the partner does play a super big role into failure or success, you know, and to take out the impact that your partner can have, because your partner is your environment, and usually it's the biggest part of your environment. That's the person that you see the most. If you don't see your partner, super often first there's probably an issue.
If it's a long-term partner,
yeah, and you're married, I mean, in the case of those people that are super successful, you know, and so I think they do have a lot of how do you say, like impact on their partner success for sure.
I agree with that. 100%. I think you know, there was a quote, I forgot by who, but behind every great man stands a great woman, something like that, right? That quote.
Yes,
I agree with that. I'm not such you know, there's a lot of guys who kind of devalue women in that sense, like, oh, you know, I can do everything by myself, my woman, like, you know, there's a lot of guys that are a bit macho. Even women too, you know. I think, it's powerful when you combine a great man and a great woman, and you both motivate each other, and you both do something great. That's okay. Now, we need to come back to the other topics because we have so many other topics.
Yeah.
One thing is, first of all, you're a businesswoman, you make money, you travel, etc. So for you must have pretty high standards for the type of guy you date. Like,
no.
would you date a guy? Okay, let me ask you
History-wise, no.
Would you date a guy who makes less money than you? Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. But most of the time, you date guys who makes less money than you.
So I would say data-wise, because, you know, I try to understand the market, to understand everything. So basically, on the market right now, I'm in the, like, not the highest earner on earth for sure, but like I'm in the...
1%.
No, I don't know what is the 1%, but I think it's more common for me to find a guy that earns less than me than not.
Yeah.
So, data-wise, I've dated mostly men who earned, I mean, not less than me. No, actually. But what is your question again?
Would you date a guy
That
who earns less than you, even long term, by the way?
Oh, I think I would, yes.
Yeah.
But it depends. Like, it will not be possible if the guy doesn't want, like, is not okay with dating someone who earns more than him. So, like, for me, it's fine. But, I mean, I don't know, because I would say I've never been with someone that their lifestyle, like, I haven't had so many relationships, you know, so maybe also my experience is not the best in terms of data collecting. But I think one of my friends actually told me, but if you're with a guy that cannot follow your lifestyle, so traveling and everything, which is not just about the money, maybe because he's working, or maybe he's earning more than me, but he's very stable geographically.
At the office all the time.
Yeah, like that would not work too. So I think it's not the most important, like in terms of money, it's more about lifestyle. You know?
Yeah. So if you have a guy, even if he's broke, but he can travel with you, he can follow you.
I mean, if he's broke, he cannot travel, huh?
Well, if you pay for him, maybe. Do you pay stuff for guys, or do you always let guys pay for you?
We share sometimes. But do I pay stuff? I pay stuff. First, I'm not a millionaire. So
But have you, for example, have you paid a trip to for a guy?
No.
Like his tickets or something? No.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Because there's girls who do that. Once they have money, I know a lot of girls, they pay everything, and they're like very like sugar mama type of girl.
I'm not a sugar mama, and I don't have the earnings of a sugar mama, according to me, at least. So absolutely not. And I don't think that I would like to be with a guy that wants me to pay for his trips, for sure. I mean, it's not attractive to me, so that would be a problem.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, you come from more of a, I would say, traditional Arabic culture in a way, because we're both Tunisians as well.
I would say no, but okay.
I mean, you are Tunisian.
I am, but I think in terms of mentality, I'm not that traditional. I think I'm liberal. I'm very liberal.
No. In your own mentality, I think too. But in your background. So in your background, also you expect guys, obviously, to pay the bill, to treat you like a gentleman, to be like more traditional with you. No,
I don't expect them. I don't expect anybody to do anything. But the fact is, indeed, because of my education, especially around money and men and women and things like this, it's cringy for me. Like when a guy tells me on the first date, for example, let's split, we split. I'm not gonna, we split, no problem, but you're my friend. Like there's no way that this is a date, you know? And sometimes I try to change mentalities, and then I'm like, no, I'm not changing nothing. Because also it goes with my taste. So yeah, that's the answer.
That's a good answer, but it's true. Yeah, I mean, I think in general, for a guy, it's always better to pay, to invite the girl, to be a gentleman. And then, of course, if she wants to pay for some stuff herself and contribute sometimes, that's fine. But I think it's the role of the guy to provide, protect, be there, and just, pay for things, I think it's better. It's more attractive. It's just more attractive, as you said.
Yes, too.
It's more attractive to most women, I think, for a guy who pays. Even those who deny it, I think they would.
But I think it's in terms of reality of the world. When you're in a long term, maybe in the beginning you're courting or whatever, but then now men and women have like salaries that are quite equivalent. So I don't really see how it's possible for a guy that is not a high earner, which is a very low percentage of the population, to actually take care of a woman. Like, realistically speaking...
But these guys are not the most desirable guys on the market. They're the less desirable on the market, usually.
But if they're very handsome, they have a lot of success, Like,
so, if you're very handsome, but you're broke, you can get laid, but you're not going to be the best option.
You can be normal.
Normal. Yeah, well,
you can get laid, yes, a lot.
You can get laid a lot and stuff like that.
You can have amazing women.
Yeah. Like I've seen, I don't want to talk.
You can have a good personality too,
Also.
There's looks and
Also,
money,
yeah,
and
yeah.
there's personality. And some people, they have amazing personalities, and they have a lot of success because of their personality.
You could.
And some have 2, and some have 3.
You
It's
could,
rare.
yeah. The more you stack the deck in your favor with personality, game, money, status, etc., the better, right? But women nowadays, they have so many options with online apps and stuff like that.
It's fake.
Yeah, but they would rather go with the guy who has it all, like who is full stack, which means personality, money, traveling, everything.
But you see that those
Then
guys, they're
only one
single.
thing.
It's not true.
They're single because they're so they have so many options that they don't want to settle too fast for
I think
anyone.
it's not true.
So what do you think?
I think, first of all, thinking that you have a lot of options because of online dating, it's fake. You don't really have a lot of options because you think you have in front of you a lot of faces scrolling and you can decide and blah, blah, blah. These are not options. This is just people that you see on a screen that you can swipe on. Then you then you need to meet them in real life, preferably. And then you need to match. Okay, do we actually like each other? Are you funny? Do you have what I want in a partner? Do you not? Etc. etc. Which actually makes your probabilities of getting into, if that's what you're looking for, obviously, relationship that is fruitful and goes in the direction that you want for your relationship, very, very low.
You're talking about long-term stuff now, but if people just want to, hook up and stuff like that, I think any girl that's somewhat attractive, she could go on Tinder right now, on Instagram, post some sexy pictures, and she could
go in the street too, it doesn't change anything.
No, it changes because since 2008, I saw many studies. Since 2008, which was approximately the introduction of dating apps like Tinder and stuff like that, since then, the amount of sexless guys, plural, has tripled, really. And there's a chart.
Why? Do you think it's because of the dating apps?
Because, yeah.
Or because we're doing stats?
Stats and dating apps. I think
because they have a phone.
The internet and social media.
Yeah. Why social media? Maybe it's online gaming.
Yeah, online gaming, social media, all of that. I think...
Just internet.
Internet, yeah. But I think also dating apps. Dating apps has also made the market a lot more competitive because...
I don't think so.
I mean, a girl now, she has to, if she goes on a dating app, she's going to compare that guy with 100 different other guys. Physically, yeah, but even status-wise, you can tell you can tell the status of someone. If someone...
Obviously not. You have a lot of guys, they have Lambos on a lot of dating apps and blah, blah.
Yeah, they fake it. But even if they fake it a little bit, still, it plays a role.
It plays a role, depends for what. Depends what is your goal. If you want to get laid, does it play a role? I think if you do have the personality, the whatever, I don't think it actually changes anything in the market. Maybe we monitor it more. So maybe now you see it more, but people before, they just got married first younger. So the life was not the same. Now we're getting married older and we can actually see data. Before, how did you know that people were getting laid or not? You don't know,
Yeah, but as you said, people before, first of all, before social media and before, for example, let's say in the 80s, 80s, 70s, right? You didn't have access to internet. You didn't have, maybe you had, I don't think so, but you didn't have social media, etc. And so if you were just a beautiful girl in a city, yes, you would get approached by the guys in that city, but you wouldn't have instant access to a millionaire in Dubai or a guy in Miami
but you don't.
who can fly you out. No, you could.
No, but
there's so many girls who live, there are so many girls. They live in the States in some weird city in Idaho, whatever, and they just sexy and they post pictures, and then they stumble upon a guy on Instagram who likes them or whatever, and he flies them out. And,
How is it different from before? If the guy was going on a holiday, for example, there?
Yeah, but it wasn't as instant. It wasn't as frictionless.
Is it a problem?
It's not a problem. It's just that right now the market is much more competitive. There's I think there's a sexual Darwinism taking place for sure. Meaning like basically the guys who are in the top 1%, who have the most resources, the best ability to travel, etc. These guys are going to have so many options. And I've seen it for myself.
Options for what?
Options for mating and sex and women.
But they always had, even in the 80s. You see the guy from Playboy, he had a manor with a lot of models.
Yeah, but now the discrepancy is becoming more and more.
But I think it was always here. The kings,
it is
the
here.
emperors, they always...
It was always here. I'm just saying it's been reinforced. It
we
increased.
just see it.
I think it
And now
increased.
people, they're mad. But I think it was always the case.
It's always the case, yeah, as you said, like the emperors, the guys at the top, they had harems of women always and stuff like that. And
I think
now,
it's the
now you
same.
see that. But now it's just, you can scale it up even more because
think you can
with
just
social
see
media.
it.
You can just scale it
I
with
think you
social
can
media.
see it.
You have more impressions.
I think
on
you can
social
just see it.
media. Yeah,
Because if you see Dan Bilzerian,
yeah.
see how many women he has around him.
Yeah.
See how many guy who has a harem
Yeah.
had. He's a small player, you know? So I think it's the same. It's just that now we can actually see other people's lives, which we could not before. So now you can compare yourself to them. And I think it's the same with mating or wealth. Like people live, more negatively. The fact that like the difference of lifestyle, of mating, of wealth, of whatever, because you can see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you could not see, like you cannot see if this person's lifestyle, you cannot see how many times someone's traveling, blah, blah, blah. Now you can see everything, so you can feel the difference. And people in general are more, I think, like negative or not depressed, but sad, let's say, about their own situation because they can see what is happening on someone else's life, which you could not before. You just saw your 5 friends and they were telling you their life was not that good and you felt better about yours.
But it's exactly that because women can see it now see the difference between all these guys on social media very easily on Instagram.
Data-wise, you know that it's not real. Most women are with average guys. Most people are average. They're with average people.
I see honestly most of the beautiful girls. They're with guys who maybe they're average in looks, but they're not average in status. They're above average in status. The women always date up. Like it's very rare that a woman is going to date down. If it's very rare that a woman, she comes from a very very important family or whatever, and she makes a lot of money, and she just settles long term with like a janitor or some guy who doesn't have any status. Usually, she's going to want to have a guy who's equal or above in status. Guys is different. Guys, if we're a billionaire or whatever, we don't care about dating a cute waitress.
I think if you're a billionaire, you will not date a cute waitress. First of everything.
No, you could if she's supportive.
Do you have an
etc.
example?
I mean, I have examples of, for example, rappers or whatever who make millions.
This is not the same. A person that comes from a certain family, usually they tend to marry someone from a certain type of class, social class. Like you see the royal families, they tend to marry people from royal families or very close to them, So they don't like get married with someone that is so above them, man or woman. And when they do, they get kicked out of the family, So that's one. Then people who do come from like more normal backgrounds, like rappers, like people who got skyrocketed into the scales of life, basically, they actually, like, these are their people, Like, I think it's more of a social thing, like social class thing, than, because if you were a rapper and you were working at McDonald's, you grew up all your life with these people, So you get along with those people. But if you're from the royal family of Denmark, it's going to be a bit complicated. Even you can have a lot of women and everything, but also your social class will not accept you having some kind of behavior or bringing someone from outside the social class, what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good insight. It's true that there's, social class and all of that too.
You see why...
There's that for sure. There's that for sure. It's very interesting. But let's go back to business because we got carried away with all of this. But I think it's important to talk about business now a little bit for the audience because a lot of people who are listening to you, they look up to you for, audience growth and content creation and business. So what tips would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs or content creators to grow their audience in 2024 or whatever, if 25, 26, whatever.
27, 28, 29, 30.
This video should last till 2030. Forever, actually. What is some evergreen advice for every content creator or aspiring entrepreneur to grow their audience and make money online?
So I would say if you want to grow your audience, first you need to understand why and what you want to get out of it. Because if you just want to have views, this is not going to give you money. True, platforms do pay, like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, they do pay you some kind of substantial amount. TikTok, actually, you can make a lot of money out of it. But you need to determine how do you want to make your money? Do you want to sell something? Do you have a business? Like if you have a business and you're making content that is not aligned with your business, then you will not get sales, So that's the first thing. Understand why you're doing it and what you want to get out of it.
Do you think people, do you think people should pick a specific niche to start with, or they can start broad?
I think it depends where you are in life. If you have a business, for example, you have a business, you are on social media, obviously, but if you were not, let's say, someone like you who would want to or me, want to be on social media because they have a business, you need to, you already have a niche because you have a business. Your business is like, the niche is your business. That's done. If you just want to be on social media, you need to determine why. Do you want to have, and because there are a lot of ways to make money on social media, but do you want to be an influencer, or do you want to be known in some kind of industry so you can promote something that is yours or that's someone else's? I would say if you're lost and you don't know, just create content, whatever, because at the beginning it's not going to work anyways. So create as much content and then you get to understand yourself. And and you can always pivot, because at the end of the day, when you know how to create content that works, then you can just pivot spaces. So if you have a business and you know what you want to sell, you go into that industry. If you do not know, then create whatever, test a lot of things. That's what I did. And I switched. I have different accounts in different niches, very different from each other, and I could do it because I knew how to create content.
At first, I remember it was dating. Actually, it was like getting over your ex or a glow up period. I remember. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. It's true. I forgot you had that.
Post breakup glow up.
Yeah, that was your niche. Like girls were actually paying you for that sometimes. No, you had consultations.
I monetized it through partnerships.
But you had a Calendly link, I think, something where they could book.
But then I thought, oh my God, people are going to call me and talk to me about their breakup, and it's going to be so sad, and I'm very sensitive, and how am I going to manage that? And it's awful, and I can't manage this a lot of, and then I decided to just monetize it in a different way.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because for me it was too hard, and I'm super sensitive, so then I'm going to cry with them, then we're going to have to stalk someone. I'm joking.
Were you always good on camera though, or you had to train yourself to be that way?
No, nobody's good on camera, because it's a made up object that you are not supposed to look at and talk to. So no, but then you get used to it. And obviously I think the fact that, my personality helps me. Obviously I'm super theatrical, blah, blah, blah. And also since I was quite young, I was on, playing with the camera and filming myself and things like this. So it helps. But it's not like an element that is that important, because it's training, Were you good at walking when you were born? Obviously not. But then you learned, and then now we look at you. You walk, and even people can recognize you from your walk. Same, Yeah. It just takes less time, but it's something that you can learn. It's a skill, so you don't have to be good. But in terms of advice that I would give also, if you want to start, I would say listen to the feedback of your analytics. I think that's something that people make a mistake on, which is I create a video, I post the video is not performing, and then I blame everything but myself, which I think is a big mistake. If the video is not performing, when you are on a platform, your goal and the metric of success is the views, If you're not getting views, the video is bad. Like, that's how I function. If I create a video, I think it's amazing, I love it, oh my God, and everything. If it's not performing, it's not my opinion that matters. The platform has spoken, the people have spoken.
Look at the numbers.
And it is not good. So this is how it's, I think, better and more humble to function, because a lot of people are like, yeah, but I'm making great content, but it's not working. No, you think it's great content, but obviously you don't have the right taste, You don't have the right analysis, because your opinion doesn't matter. It would be great. It's not because you find it pretty or you like yourself or your picture or your video. If it's good, it's performing. If it's not performing, it means it's bad. That's the only judgment that you can have on your content when you post it online. That's one. Second thing is, at the beginning, create as much as possible so you can get into the you can fasten your learning curve. The more you create, the more you're going to make mistakes. You can learn from them if you're humble enough. If you're not, you're going to persist and nothing's going to happen. But learn from the feedback that the algorithm gives you. You have every platform, you have the analytics, and you can see how much time people stayed for 3 seconds, for longer, if they liked, saved, sent, etc. So you have all of that. Use it. And
last time you told me about the hooks as well. The hooks are super important for videos.
Yes. A hook is basically the headline of your content. the hook, it needs to be dramatic. Like you are on the market that's very, very dramatic. So, and dramatic doesn't mean you need to lie or exaggerate or whatever, but you need to use words. The 3 first words are super important when you're creating content, because people, short form content I'm talking about, because people don't have time. And if you're boring them like, hello, so my name, lost. At hello, the second O that I added, I lost everybody and they scrolled, you know? So, and also I think, like not I think, but I know, when you create content, think about the person who's watching, not you. Like the goal is not for you to like your content, but you, if you want it to perform at least, you need to think the person who doesn't know me, who never saw me, who doesn't care about me, because that's the reality. If you want to have a reach of 1 million people, those million people do not know you, do not care about you. They have their lives and they're going to see you for 30 seconds, you know? So how can I get their attention? It's if I bring them something that is valuable, you know? So I need to create something for them, not for me. So sometimes we create videos and we like them and they're amazing, and then we don't understand why they're not performing, simply because they're not valuable for other people. And that's the only thing. So I would say these are the main things. And once you get into the rhythm of creating a lot and you get a lot of feedback and you understand what works, what doesn't, you can also check and learn from other people, you know? Like in your niche, check what other people are doing, understand why it's working or why it's not. Better to check if things are working. Try to understand actively, why is it working? Why did I stop? What words made me stop? Like when you're scrolling, you know, you can actively be studying what is happening within you. So then you can understand the psychology of other people, you know? Yeah. And that's basically my advice.
Yeah, it's good advice. Instead of passively scrolling, try to understand what got you to watch that video. Yeah. What was the hook? What was the element in that video that made you stop?
And every time you do an action, if you want to comment, why did I want to comment? Like I want people to have, like I need to recreate the experience that I'm living right now. If I'm sending it to someone, wow, what? Like you see yourself wanting to send, like catch yourself, why do I want to send it to someone? And how can I implement it into my own content? Yeah. You know?
Yeah, no, that's great advice, definitely. So looking at the numbers, being consistent, posting a lot in the beginning to understand what works, what doesn't.
Being humble. If it's not working, it's not good.
Yeah. And so in terms of making money, because most people, they want to make money online, etc. And you do that by getting clients usually. And so what would you recommend? What are the best strategies that are working right now to get clients, in your opinion, for people who want to get to 3K, 10K, 20K a month, whatever the amount?
In online or in...
Online.
Okay. I would say do high ticket offers or something that is not too cheap. Like if you're doing something that is below 200, 300 euros, dollars, whatever, it's going to be a little bit complicated because you need to find more volume. And at the beginning, it's better not to bet on volume.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I wanted to say, because there's a trend actually right now with school groups, you know, you charge a recurring subscription. It doesn't need to be school. It could be another thing. Yeah. But there's a high trend on recurring small subscriptions, that type of business. And I tried it actually. Like 3 months ago, I launched my paid school. It was called like Dating Systems Premium. And I was basically selling this membership, $97. And they had access to the course, to the community. They could ask me questions. But I found through trial and error that it's much, much, much better to charge high ticket because you don't have all these, I wouldn't say low-level customers, but most people who pay, you know, 97, that's not going to be the same quality of people usually than the people who pay 5K for your services. And so you have a lot less headaches. It's way easier to manage. The profit margins are way higher. And it would take you what? Like
less
it takes you, it takes you to get to 3K a month. If you charge $100 a month, it would take you 30 people.
It's a lot. It's a lot of people to talk to.
Whereas, you know, I can just close like 2 people at 5K and I'm already at 10K.
Yeah.
So it's
and that's 10, not even 3K.
Yeah.
Like you just say with 130.
So charge higher ticket for sure, especially if you're starting out.
I
think lower ticket is great when you have a huge audience like Hamza. I don't know if you know Hamza or
of course.
these type of guys.
I know all the internet.
Yeah.
But if you also are in a niche that is mainstream, if you're Mr. Beast and you're just making people laugh, for sure, like, what kind of high ticket you can do? He can actually do a lot
on YouTube stuff or
he would charge a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's interesting for him to do that. But like definitely high ticket is the easiest way to go. So services, coaching, service, that's how I did. Like I started with doing services to companies. Like B2B also is way easier than B2C.
Yeah, but it's hard to pull out when you're like a coach, for example, who teaches dating or who teaches fitness.
Oh yeah, it depends on obviously your industry.
In the money-making niche,
But for a lot of things, you can actually do B2B. Even for you, for example, you could do not something that is based
leaderships,
on...
like social skills, leadership, team building, stuff like that. Yeah.
Something that is like broader than dating, like just on the periphery of dating, and that's it. It's a relationship at the end of the day,
How do you approach companies on LinkedIn or stuff like that? Or
so I have more of inbound strategy, basically. But on LinkedIn, every time I post content, then I get leads. So that's something that I would recommend. LinkedIn is amazing. You just post what you're doing. So for me, it's my results with social media. Every time I post something, I put something, I did this and this is how I did it, boom, 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 then I get leads. So that's one way. Content in general, like even I got clients for the agency through my YouTube channel where I was teaching how to grow your TikTok, basically. And then you have also like platforms. So like freelance platforms that also companies are on, so you can also find clients there. And I found a lot of clients there too. So yeah. So
yourself, you teach your clients mainly organic strategies, not paid strategies.
Yeah. Yes, organic.
So you teach them, for example, how to cold DM people while shooting content?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think cold DM has a bit like... Because what I found personally with my brand is like I was cold DMing people since 2020, Since 2020, I was cold DMing Facebook groups, Instagram, etc. But nowadays, it's a lot harder sometimes to get the attention of people when you cold DM on Instagram or on stuff like that. It's hard. It's hard sometimes.
Because a lot of people are doing it.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing it. So what would be some kind of new age advice maybe that would help people that have tried cold DMs, but they're not getting a lot of traction and they want to get clients? What are some other advice, maybe other tips that you could give them?
I would say to get clients and make sales right now, you need to make content. Like this is why it's so big and everybody is getting into it. Like most people who have a lot of success that we see online right now, it's not that their product is amazing or whatever, or they're selling something that's crazy, but they all have an audience. Like an audience right now is the most, big asset that you
most
can have.
Valuable thing, yeah.
Like, it's an amazing asset.
Yeah.
Building an audience, even if it's small, like if you're doing high ticket offers, B2B or B2C, whatever, you can earn a lot. Like I know someone, he has 5K on Instagram, a small audience of same like 2-3K on YouTube, making 100K per month with a B2B offer. That is 5K, So you do not need to grow that big of an audience, but you need to be but he's doing B2B. So obviously
it's very niche also.
It's scaling businesses, and it's not that big companies that he's doing. It's like small companies usually that have, and it's 5K. For a company, it's not that much, to pay.
So much budget to spend on that. So
they do. Yeah. So it's not a problem. So you just need to, and he's doing it organically through content. And most people are. So now I think the work in the trenches is in the content. And the thing that is great is the difference with cold DMing people, it's a thing that you need to redo all the time and you're not building anything, on top of it. But with an audience, if you're growing an audience,
compounds.
It compounds. Like this, it's insane. And then you already have people who are warm to buy your things all the time. And it lasts forever.
Yeah, it's inbound too. Like they come to you later on. They see you as an authority.
It's easier to, like the mentality of potential clients who come to you through outbound or inbound is very different.
Yeah.
Someone comes inbound, like they are already sold. Like it's not like that they're interested already, and the dynamic is super different.
Yeah, exactly.
The price also is very different. If you're going to pitch everything and you're please work with me, it's something. But if someone is coming and then you're like, so like, the dynamic is like dating, you're coming. So now I can also make my own.
They have to sell themselves to you almost like.
Exactly. And the price point is different, but the dynamic as well. And the negotiation is going to go into a very different way because they already know you. Like their choice is already made in their mind. If you're doing content and it's organic and they're consuming and, and you've established yourself as an authority into their minds that nothing can replace, It's basically like it's the technique of every high end brand. People are coming at your door, making a queue and begging you to buy something that is 50K. You know, like how are they doing that? And some other people, they're going at Zara and something and say, oh, it's too expensive, it's 50, you know? So it's a very different mentality. So when you're doing content organically, you're more into the high-end brand mentality than into the low ticket thing, doing sales and things like this. And there's no sale. We have limited space. People know you already. They're dreaming about you and things like, dreaming in terms, not literally, but, you know, they want to work with you. They know you. You've built a lot of trust. So obviously you have a very big unfair advantage, compared to someone random that is coming into their DM and telling them, woo, we're amazing.
Yeah. Nowadays, especially in 2024, with all the competition, the level of trust, the level of, not trust, but the level of skepticism has increased a lot. So you need to really build trust through content, because people do business with other people that they know, like, and trust, right? So they have to trust you through your content, etc. That's for sure. Now, one thing, because I know we have to wrap it up soon, is how do you manage traveling with business, with all of that? Because you're a girl who I see, you know, you're traveling all the time. Like a woman, sorry. You're a high value woman who travels, who has her business, who does 100 different things. So how do you manage all of that with your business? What's the importance of having a team, delegation, stuff like that? And yeah, if you could talk about that.
Absolutely. So how do I manage it? First, I'm a very chaotic person, which is very complicated, but it's also my strength. So sometimes I try to stop it, but then I don't grow in terms of business in the best way, because like that's, advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. So I just need to manage it in the best way, which usually comes, it's fluctuating. You know, sometimes it's really chaotic and then I'm a little bit lost and running and things. And then I get like, it's phases, basically. I have phases where when I travel very slow first. And second, I have phases where I don't do anything. Like, for example, when I was traveling in Mexico, I stayed for 3 weeks in Tulum doing nothing. Like, I was in Tulum, you know, everybody was like, wow, Tulum, amazing party. I didn't see one party. I didn't see anything. I saw the co-working space of the place where I was working, staying at, you know. So that's the only thing that I did. So these are things that happen quite often, that I travel, but then for 1, 2, 3 weeks, I just lock down and then I'm working. So it's just balancing, because also you do not always need to be, especially in my industry, you do not always need to be 100%. Sometimes you're in building phase, which is the phase that you need to calm down and you need to focus on what you're doing. And then you have maintenance phase, and then you have scaling phase. So, you know, it's not always scaling, it's not always building. Sometimes it's maintenance. When it's maintenance and you have a team and you can delegate, you know, and things are rolling and you have process. And also it's a choice, you know, like some people, they want to be like, I don't have a startup. It's a like cash flow business, basically. So I don't have also investors or things like this. I'm by myself.
You have a team, right?
I do. But I mean, I don't have anybody telling me what to do. That's what I mean. Like, I don't need to
manage them. You have to do calls with them. You have to put systems in place. So.
But I try to limit them as much as possible. Like calls and everything, I don't like them because they take a lot of time. I speak a lot. So when I'm on calls and we speak, oh, what are you doing? Haha, it's amazing and things like this. So I try to not do them. And if I have something to tell them, also when we have a time difference, and we do in any case, because they're in Asia, you know, so we do have a time difference. So it's, you know, now you do not really need to have calls or things like this. You have Loom, Tela, whatever.
Slack,
and Slack. So it's just, I think, being organized. Also working with people who have things that I don't, which is being super rigid into their minds, you know. Like me, I'm flowy. But they are usually very rigid. Like they're way more less chaotic, at least, you know, than me. Very, very organized. Whereas I have more of a creative personality where I'm, let's do this, let's do that. No, let's work on this. Oh no, let's launch something else. You know, like super in the clouds. But then having people that are telling you no. Focus. No, we're not doing this. No, we're doing this. It's the best. Then it helps. So I think just having around you people who balance out what is in you, you know. That's basically my most valuable thing that I would say. But it's quite difficult, honestly, to travel and to work at the same time, I think. But you need to, like, you can't go for 2 weeks and work at the same time. Like, I'm traveling very long time, you know. So also I don't have FOMO because I'm like, okay, if I want to stay more, I will stay more. Like, I don't have a returning ticket, I don't have a deadline, a timeline, or whatever. So I can just adapt the traveling to my workflow. you know, so it's easier as well.
Do you delegate a lot of things in your business? Do you have systems in your business where you have like SOPs of everything? Like here's how to do this, here's how to do that.
Yeah, I do have SOPs. Yeah, absolutely. It's great. Needed in any case. If you want to have more clients or whatever, you need to have SOPs. So, but I would tell you something also. The how can I say it? The choice that I made to pivot from agency to e-learning basically is also because I think I can systemize it more. Because we have a lot of things to do, a lot of calls, a lot of everything with the agency. Like it's time-wise, it's very, very hard and did not at this point correspond to what I wanted, you know. So I decided to start something that would correspond more and that I can actually, like, for me, your business needs to bend to give you the life that you want, you know? And I know some other people, they have a different mentality towards that, but that's mine. Like, my business is here to support me, not me here to sacrifice myself for the business. Like, I don't have this mentality.
Either you're its master or you're its slave, basically. Yeah.
But some people, like, have a vision that is greater, bigger than mine, for sure. Like, I'm more into like lifestyle business, you know, for now. In this phase of my life, maybe it will change later on. But that's, basically, I don't know. I went into all the spaces, but that's also one of the reasons why I decided to pivot. Because I think I can systemize it way more than with the agency.
Yeah. First of all, I really like what you said about the 3 phases, like the building phase, the maintenance phase, the scaling phase. That was very insightful. And the other thing I want to say is, so there's a great book called The 2-Week Vacation Test. You should definitely read it. Maybe you read it. I don't think so.
No, but I know about it. Like I didn't read the book, but I understand.
And basically, would your business survive without you for 2 weeks where you do nothing? Would your team be able to survive? Would everything be able to survive?
Right now?
Yeah, for example, you, yeah.
No. Now we're in building phase. Like, that's why I'm here. You know? That's why I left Dubai. I stopped to travel. Like, I'm still technically traveling here because I don't live here, but I decided to stay for a long time here in Estonia because the weather is no surfing, no big weather, like super good weather and things like this. Because I think it's the best way for me now in this month to focus on working, basically. Yeah. So now I'm in building phase. So absolutely not. It will not survive at all.
Yeah. But it's good to reflect, though, because, definitely the goal of a business is for it to support you and you becoming the master of that business and that business working in your favor. No, because there's a lot of business owners, like they have a second job, they don't have a business. It's just like a job, basically.
But some people, they do want to build something that is gigantic and that will outlive them, you know?
But even then, they need a team, they need a great network, they need to delegate things.
You don't need anything. You decide, you know? Like you need, there's no need for anything. But
even a startup, you can't do everything by yourself.
For sure you can't, but I think there's no rule. You just need to do what you think is the best for you. And I think unhappiness just comes from non-alignment. Sometimes, as I told you with the people in the training and everything like this, and people that I see around, when your life does not correspond to what you want, sometimes you just got it wrong in the sense that, I thought that I wanted this, but when I have it, then, oh my God, I can't. I want more freedom, I want more time, and I build these gigantic things that needs me to be here, and I'm super unhappy. For example, like, I know some people, they do like a restaurant or like some kind of physical businesses because they wanted to have freedom. But you can't. Like, if you are not going to build an empire out of it, if you just want to have a restaurant, it's a lot of work. You're not going to be free. You're not going to be able to go anywhere. You need to work a lot, very early and late hours. So you're not going to be free from your 9 to 5. Maybe your 9 to 5 actually is better in terms of hours, because after you go out and you don't care, it's not your business anymore. You know, you just go, you live your life, and then you come back next day and you don't, like, you are not that affected by what is happening, you know. So sometimes, you know, we need to also test and fail and things so we can also understand ourselves. But I think it's just being aligned with what you want. If you want to have freedom and you don't want to build this Google thing that people will forget who did it and it will survive all of us forever, and you want a lifestyle business, do a lifestyle business. And a lifestyle business, you don't need, for example, to build a startup. You can actually have a bootstrap business, you know? Yeah. And if you want to do something amazing and great and blah, blah, and have investors and get stressed all day and it's, you know, you're getting, I don't know, something out of it, do it too. But don't go into the other road that it's going to be like, to scale it, maybe I don't have the impact that I want, maybe people are saying this about me, blah, blah, blah. You know, just choose your right path, go with it, understand yourself, and then you're going to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of startups, I'm actually trying to build kind of my own kind of SaaS business with Meetworth in terms of networking and all of that. You saw that.
Where
I know
is
you're
it?
in the app.
I am.
And we're
one of the
launching.
early users.
Yeah, you're one of the early users, one of the VIP users. And right now, basically, we're launching a new update, etc. And it's about networking in business. So how important has networking been for you? And do you proactively network with other business owners? And how important is it for you and maybe for your clients and everything? So
I would say, me personally, I don't network, and I think it's bullshit. I will explain why.
That's not going to grow my app.
No, I would say, look, first, I'm a woman. I think it's very different than a man. When I go and network, like, I'm going and I'm networking. I'm in the middle of a room with 100 men, okay? First, the interaction is different than if I'm a man and speaking with a man, That's a reality. Second thing is, my marketing strategy is online. So I don't really need to go outside and to talk with people, which is something that I'm trying not to do because I'm already talking with a lot of people in my private life, So to do it with my work and things like this, it's too much. So I think it's about levels. At where I am right now, I'm not at a level where if I go network with some people, it will have that much of an impact. I think I need to work. Like, the thing that I need to do to grow my business right now is just to sit down, work, and grow it. When I'm at a superior level, and then maybe I want to invest in some companies, maybe I want to find co-founders to build something like an app or something like this, maybe then it would be relevant for me to actually get to know people from a certain level as well that have achieved some kind of success or whatever, so I can actually do it. That's not where I am, that's not my goal. If people I think maybe when you're starting business or you're pivoting business or you're searching for a partner in business, that's super interesting to go and to search for someone to meet. Like, if you don't even have an idea, then you can get a sense of what is happening. And, at the end of the day, I was also very lucky because my business incentives or business world opening came from someone very close to me, which is my brother. And through him, I met a lot of entrepreneurs. I met you, I met all of his friends. So, it was very easy for me to be surrounded by people like this. And then also I'm very extroverted and I was traveling. So I met a lot of people and I moved to Dubai, and I'm not doing it actively. I'm going to how do you call
network?
To a networking event. But most of the people that I know, I've met these last few months or years, and
they're gravitate.
Yes, and they're entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But I don't see it as networking. Like, I go with a friend and they're like, oh, no. And then their friends, they're also entrepreneurs. And then I'm meeting people and then I hear about them.
More organically.
Yes. But I think it's my personality and also my life with my brother and, friends and things like this. But if I would say I was by myself in Paris still with nobody around me that is into business, and I wanted to get motivated and things like this, and get to meet people or search for a partner or something, definitely I think I would do it. And if I was a man too, I think as a woman it's a little bit different. But maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I will try at some point and I will let you know, in the real life events.
I think because you're in that building phase, you need to really focus on building for now, and you need to be in the trenches, not outside the trenches networking and going to all the events, etc. But as you scale it up, then it's important to connect with the right people. Even for a podcast or for a collab or whatever, it's great to have a good network, with people. And you see a lot of entrepreneurs in France launching podcasts like Yomi Denzel or whatever. They're doing podcasts and they're networking with billionaires or other people.
Absolutely.
And they're always doing that because they're scaling it up. They're scaling their everything up.
Yes. And
their influence. They care about influence.
Of course, indeed. So I haven't understood it also through that, but it's really interesting also, if you're in content creation and you want to grow an audience, also to pair with other people and to get, cross exposure. Exactly. That's really interesting.
And the app can help you with that.
Absolutely. Download Meetworth.
No, for sure. Yeah, the app can help you with that.
Android in Apple Store.
Yeah, Android, iOS, everything. And but you talked about the power of surrounding yourself with the right people. I mean, if you're alone, you don't know anyone, you go to Bangkok, okay? You're an entrepreneur in Bangkok, you don't know anyone. Well, you could go to an app and potentially network with other business owners and meet people that could motivate you and keep you sharp, and that's one thing.
And meet very interesting people, have a very good time.
Yeah, but you can be self-motivated too if you tune into the right audiobooks, the right videos, etc. That's okay.
But I think it's hard. Sometimes you just need a human,
Yeah, it's great to have cool connections.
It is.
Yeah.
It's essential. We're human. We're, social species. We need to. People who say the contrary, they're lying.
One last question.
Let's go.
And this will be a question that you can look back a few years from now. Number one, do you want to have kids one day?
In theory, yes.
Yeah.
But if I find a good dad.
What's the maximum age at which you would consider marrying? Because right now you're a bit older than me because I was in high school with you. I know you're a bit.
So we're not not that much difference. High school is 3 years.
Yeah, no, not that much difference. I mean, you're still young, but you know that after 30, most women they lose 90% of their eggs. So for you, if you want to have kids and stuff like that, it's going to be more like at this time, So what would be the maximum age for you and to marry or to have kids?
I don't have maximum anything. It's life, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't found the right partner for me now. So we'll see. Maybe I find it, maybe I don't. But we'll see.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what life brings.
Yeah, we'll see. What about you?
Myself, I think 35 max.
To what?
To marry and have kids.
But you need to find the right person too.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find. I mean, if you have options, you put yourself out there, you meet a lot of women, you can select one that's going to be great, I don't think I'll have a problem with that because I've worked, literally my job is to help guys with their dating. That's my job. So if I don't find a good woman, then I will find.
To find a very attractive one, I believe you will, for sure. But I think you need to broaden your criteria for a good wife and a good mother.
I will. I know for now I'm more short-term, for sure. I know now I'm more short-term focused, but in the future I will want to have, a girl that's going to be a great mother one day, for sure.
You can learn from the exes of all of the billionaires, You can see none of them were models. I mean, models great too, huh? Some of them, they make great mothers and things like this,
Yeah, no, I would rather have a 7, 8 out of 10 that's super mother potential, etc., than have a 10 out of 10 model, Victoria's Secret, whatever. And
some of them, they're very good mothers, but
And some of them are good too. But it's hard to find that sweet spot sometimes, between extremely beautiful and extremely good at becoming a great mother. Sometimes it's harder, but you could find.
No, I think it's not hard to find. It's just that we are combinations. But we cannot have everything. Maybe.
Yeah, forget what I said. Actually, you could.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just, but you started this debate.
Don't focus. Because you said when we were talking about billionaire's wife. But they're not that attractive. And I told you, I mean, for you, first of everything, and also them when they were not a billionaire, whatever. Still now they're not that attractive into the world of the most attractive people on earth. If you put them on a scale. But the men, I'm talking. This, for me, translates into your priority of looks over everything. Because you're but they're ugly. So if you are focusing solely on that, which I got the impression that you were with your, what you said, I'm just telling you, a person and a person, first of all, is a lot of things, as you know. But for, I think, a partner, a life partner and mother of your kids or father of your kids, looks is something. But I don't think it's obviously you need to be attracted to the person that you're with. But you can find people who would give you an amazing life or be amazing partners that indeed might not be a Victoria's Secret model. But I mean, if you want a Victoria's Secret model that is a super good mother and has also the same values and same life vision as you, you can. Just that they're like 20 angels, so you're competing with a lot of people for them.
Yeah, you have to put yourself in the right environments. There's cities in the world where there's a high concentration of models and beautiful people, beautiful women.
Yes.
You just have to, it's the same thing as we said, even for your business, your geography impacts your dating life too. So I'm always trying to put myself in the best geography when it comes to dating. That's why I'm in Eastern Europe, Tallinn, Estonia, with some of the most beautiful women in the world in those Slavic countries. So I always try to put myself in the best environment possible. Bali, also great women there, a lot of Russians, Ukrainian. Depends
Dubai.
What you're looking for.
Cool.
Yeah. If you're looking for blondes, don't live in France most of the time. Most girls are going to be dark-haired in France. Go to Sweden. Go to Nordic.
Blondes.
France usually it's more even Spain. Spain is more like brunettes like you.
Yeah, Mediterranean.
Yeah. So
But you
go
can
more
find
to Nordic
even in Tunisia
countries.
blonde. But it's like the majority will.
Same. If you're looking for Latinas, like don't go to Dubai. I mean, you could go to Dubai.
Yeah, but they are actually, but not that much.
Yeah, don't go to Thailand, whatever. Like, you see what I mean? Like, you have to, depending on your mating choices and preferences, you have to put yourself also in the right geography.
But I think first determine your mating choices and preferences.
I've determined them already.
Yeah, tell me.
We don't have much time, but I will tell you in private.
Okay, I will be happy to listen.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Any last thoughts for the viewers? Maybe also share your Instagram, everything, how people can find you, and maybe any last advice for becoming entrepreneurs. What would you say?
My Instagram would be in the description, and if you're listening on a podcast platform or whatever, it's at MalekIlani. Because the other one is in French, so...
I'll put it in the show notes, yeah.
Okay, because the other one is in French, so we don't care. And I would say last thing, for people who want to start a business, first make sure that you actually want to start a business, because a lot of people actually do not want to start a business. They just want to have more freedom, but don't want to take on the cons of having a business, which is you basically never stop to work. So be sure that you actually want to do it, and then find something that you like.
Yeah, that you enjoy,
Yeah, that you enjoy, because it's going to get hard, and don't stop, never stop, and it's going to work. And be on social media, because if you're not, your competition is, and they're winning.
Let's go. Amazing. Well, thank you, Malek. Thank you for coming. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll keep in touch.
We'll do. Thank you.
Yeah.